everybody, welcome back to Carnation Crafts TV. I'm Laura. We have Kat and Taz next door to say hello. Now for this show we are looking back. If you missed our 10 a.m. show this morning, we launched our Ornate egg that you can see there. It is absolutely stunning. There is so much detail in this die. You can see you've got your matte layers there for your egg. So you've got your Happy Easter in there, and you've got your florals in there and the foliage as well. So you've got so much in there with those lovely daffodils. But I'm going to show you on the board exactly what you get, because you've got so much detail in here. You can see you've got that Ornate egg, which is almost like one of those really expensive Fabergé eggs that you can get. But like we were saying earlier, you can really go into this and cut into this and use it in different ways. You can cut the base away, you can cut the top off, you can use these in so many different ways. You've got your foliage there, you've got the daffodils, and you've got your Happy Easter, and you have got the mat there for the sentiment as well. So you can use it like this one, so you can bring that sentiment to the forefront, even using it on its own. And I'll show you some samples now, but even just using it like this, that you can see just using that sentiment. We'll go over here, so you can see just that sentiment and the foliage. So using your daffodils, using that foliage and your sentiment looks absolutely stunning just on its own. And then if I open this up, you can see what that looks like on the inside. So again, bringing in those daffodils, and you can see even adding in little eggs in the back of there as well. So it looks like it's got a stack of eggs in the back, bringing in the flowers and decorating that egg. And you can see then how that will just close. So you can see that, but even that on its own just looks absolutely stunning. Then we've got, we've just had a stock update for the Ornate egg. 60% of the stock has gone. This is the last show with this today, and it will go back up at full price by midnight tonight. So it is on the show price for you of $27.99 with your P&P on there, but it will go back up at midnight tonight, and this is the last show. So you've got your daffodils there again with that beautiful sentiment, and then when you open this up, you've got your egg there, which is absolutely stunning. You can see bringing in those daffodils, decorating your egg. You've got your bunny there and bringing those in, but that looks fairy tale. It looks like something out of a storybook. It's so pretty. So we've got that one there. Then we've got, look at this one. So multiple cutting out that Ornate egg. You can see how pretty that looks. So there's 2 layers on each one, just to give it the structure that it needs and the support to have that as the card base, decorating with those daffodils. Kat just said it's made her think of one of those really fancy engagement ring boxes. Now you've said that, I know what you mean. I've seen like ring boxes that are kind of shaped like an egg, but I hadn't thought of that. That's really done. You can make like engagement cards with these as well. Then we've got another one here. Look at this. So you've got your shaker card. So adding in your acetate there, using that as an aperture, and you can see what that looks like. Bringing in all of your elements on the side there to decorate that corner, and then evening that out then with your sentiment on the side. Works absolutely beautifully. We have got one here. So you can see using those matte layers to actually make your card base. So you've got your matte layers there to make the card base, and bringing in your daffodils, adding in your sentiment. And think of these other dies. So we use this one, we used a little chick in the earlier show, if you've seen there. And then we have one more. You can see there. Look at that. It just looks, it's so elegant. I was saying earlier in the earlier show, that's probably the most expensive looking Easter egg that I've seen. You could use it as name places as well, or use it to decorate your table if you're having people over for Easter. But all of those cards I've shown you are using the Ornate egg die set, which is absolutely stunning. So let's make a card. So I'm going to do quite a large card with this one. Now I'm using the Perfect Papers from Spring Forward. So that was the show that we did earlier on. So if you want to have a look at them, have a look back at the last show. And let me just pull that. So we've got, you get your dark pinks, purple, and your greens and your creams in there. So I've got my darker one. This is going to go on our card base. So just add that in. This is your Perfect Paper, but it is 300 GSM, so you can use it for more than just your paper. You can use it, if you're using it with the egg, use it as your card base as well. This is going to go on next. So I've got that lighter shade now, so that's just going to go on there to give us that border around our card with that pink. So I've just popped some foam pads on the back of here just to add a bit of height in between those layers. And then we can pop this on there like so. So that's just going to pop on there. And then we've just got a sheet of our white cardstock that's just going to fit on there like that. So we're going to pop this one in. So just use your everyday glue and add that in there. And that's going to go on there. So those two colours that we used for the matte layers on our card are the same two colours that I've pulled out from the die set. So the matte layers you get for the egg, I've cut out the larger one in that darker colour, so following those mattes, and then the lighter pink to go in on there. So I'm going to have that lovely frame again with those same colours that I've used in the background. And we're going to add some height in here. So just while I'm popping this down, Castor says we've got a few messages to read out. Suzanne. So Suzanne is saying hi to all the Carnation Army out there watching. And Karen has messaged saying good afternoon all. Good afternoon, girls. So we're just going to pop this off of here. And then this is just going to sit on there like that. So I've got that perfect matte layout, and we're going to do the same thing on here. So just add in some foam tip on the back. Just to raise this up a bit. And then you've got your main part then, which is that egg. So this is just going to sit there in the center. And then what we're going to do, oh my gosh, everything's stuck to everything now. Right, we've got our egg. And what we're going to do, because I want that pink underneath, but I don't want to, like if I put that on there, it looks lovely, but that pink really comes to the front. It really does stand out. So I want to just almost dull that down a bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of glue on the back of there and just dab a little bit along where those joins are. And I'm just going to use that just to spread that down those thinner parts. Make sure we've got nice even glue, and then we're going to just move that a minute. Pop that onto a little bit of vellum. So I'm going to pop that down there, and I'm just going to cut this out. So when you're cutting this out, all you've got to do, it's not difficult to do, you just tuck your scissors under it and then just cut. You haven't got to be precious with it, you don't have to try following the line, just tuck your scissor under it and cut along. So Katja said we've got a, did you say a question? Or just a message? A message from Linda. She said, oh, so Linda's message saying good afternoon, and she's hoping that the internet will let her watch the show because her internet keeps dropping out and she's missed parts of the last two shows. Oh, well, hopefully it stays there for you. Technology is like the best thing when it works, and it's the worst thing when it doesn't. And I am not computer savvy or tech savvy, so if something goes wrong, I just like, unless turning it on and off fixes it, then you got no chance from me. So we've done that now. So you can see when I pop that on there, that just dulls that pink down and just breaks it up a little bit. So you've got that there. Now I've just domed this ever so slightly. So I'm going to go in with my pin flare on the edges. Now I would leave the vellum to fully set and dry if I was doing this at home, just so you know. So you've got that secure bond there, and then that is just going to sit on there like that. But if I just lift that up, you can see how that is domed, so it does keep its shape. Now we're going to go in with a mix of things for this one. So I'm using some of the florals from Spring Forward, and I'm using the florals that are in the Ornate egg for this one. Now in the Spring Forward you get this lovely foliage branch which comes to you like this, so you can build that up, and that's what I'm going to do with this one. I want to build this up, but I want to almost make like a bouquet down the bottom. So I've done that twice, and because you've got those mirrored vignettes, you can flip it so you can have it go in both directions, which works absolutely perfectly. And that's what we're going to do now. So I'm going to pop a little bit of glue, and I'm going to just pop this about there. So that's just coming up. Oh, those florals. So this is just going to give us that almost like a frame ready. I'm just going to tuck that under there, and then pop that about the same place. Right, so we've got them there like that. So the next thing we're going to do now is come in. So you can see our foliage here. So this is from the Ornate egg. And I've also got some of the daffodils. Now, when I go in and I start adding these in, you'll see that I do have a mix of different bits in here. So it's going to be a bit of a chop and change, guys. So we're going to add that in. And I'm going to add this one over here, just to break up that bit of white space. And then we're going to add in our daffodils, because I feel like you can't not have daffodils on a spring Easter themed card. Daffodils are a must. I'm going to pop them on. So those are going to go about there like that. And then what we're going to do, we're going to add more in, and then I've got the freesias. Taz is going to be so proud of me. I remembered what they were called. So we've got the freesias from the Spring Forward. And let me just grab my mat for our sentiment. We'll pop, yeah, we'll pop that there. So I know that's going to go roughly in the center. So I'm going to, actually, you know what, let's pop the sentiment on first, so I know where we're going to go. So I've got my mat, and then I wanted the sentiment to kind of pop out a bit more and look a little bit more 3D. So I've cut the sentiment out in the same color just to go on there. So you can see it's like white on white, but then I'm going to add in the vignette on top of that. And then it's going to be a bit hard for you to see, but let's glue it, and then we'll try and show you. So let's just add some glue on my mat, and then pop some glue on the back of that. And then that's going to just sit on there like that. And then this one will set on there like that. And then because I've got those layers, if I go to this camera, can you see it looks really 3D? And all that is you're just adding in an extra layer of cardstock, so you can really see the depth. It almost looks 3D when you look at it. So I've just added that in just to make that pop a little bit more. So we're going to go in and add this in the center. So I'm just going to put some pin flare in the center of that because we're going to build in around it. So that's going to go there like that. And then add in some of these florals because you've got so many in here that you can go in with. So think about all of those floral that you have at home that are just going to work in with this and just blend with it, because this collection lends itself, yes, it is perfect for Easter cards, but it just lends itself so well to so many other types of cards that you could be making with these, even just spring summer themed cards. You've got all of these florals in here. You've got the foliage, like we were saying, they could be baby cards, they could be so many different occasions that you can use these for. And all I'm doing now is just adding in different elements just to build up the look of this. So you can add in as little or as much onto this as you want to do. And then you've got, so I'm still using the same Frasers from the Spring Forward. I'm going to add that there like that. And then do the same on the other side, just build in those flowers. So, because they do work well together. Let's bring in some more. Pop that in there. And just have fun with this and go in, play around with the composition, add some more in, take some away. You can absolutely have so much fun with these. I'm going to add that one there. And am I going to add more? This is my worst bit, is deciding of, do I stop? Do I carry on? Do I add more? Does it need more colour? But you can never, you can't go wrong with Carnation, can you? You can't make a bad card. It kind of, they almost hold your hand while you're doing it, because everything's so thought out that you can't really go wrong, you know, and everything just looks absolutely stunning, even if you just add in little elements and you don't add in that much more. It doesn't need loads added into it. And then I've also got, so these are part of the borders that you can see there. So you've got these from the Spring Forward, and I've gone in and cut them down, and you can manipulate these as well. So because of the way that they've been designed, you can go in and shape them as well, which is one of the things I was saying in the earlier show. So you can manipulate them to go in different directions, but I've just cut these down because what I wanted to use them for was just little tuck-ins to add in that extra foliage. So, you know, just to add in a little bit more green where you need that bit more colour, just add those little bits in, and you can see how that just brings in even more colour to your project. So I'm going to add another one there, and then we've got that there, and then I am going to stop. I'm going to walk away. So you can see our card there, bringing in all those daffodils, bringing in, you know, some elements there from the Spring Forward, but the main part of that is the ornate egg that you can see with the Happy Easter and all those daffodils and the foliage. So you can see from our Ornate egg die set, you can see where we've used the mass and layers. So you've got there for that Ornate egg, you've got the daffodils in there, you've got the sentiment in there, you've got everything that you need in there to build up the most beautiful cards, perfect for Easter, but equally you can use them in so many different occasions as well. So like you can see here, you can use that matte layer, use that as your card base, pop that on there. That's such a simple looking card, but it looks amazing. You know, in the earlier show we were saying this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 die cuts. You've got your matte, your layer, your egg, your sentiment, the foliage, and the lily of the valley. You've got 6, and that looks so expensive. So like that's like the fanciest looking Easter egg I have ever seen. Easter card. It is absolutely brilliant. And then you can also use the actual Ornate egg on its own to make the card base too. So multiple cutting out of that Ornate egg, give it that structure that it needs. And you can see there, adding in those daffodils to decorate the egg looks so pretty. And then we've got him there, look at him. Little chick hiding away there. You've got your foliage in there with your Happy Easter. You can really bring these to life. With those daffodils, they just look, it looks so clean and fresh. And I was saying earlier, I think we're all ready for, we want some sun and some summery weather, and we're done with winter. We just want the flowers and everything that comes with spring. And then we've got a shaker card here. So you can see there with the little eggs. So you can see it's got little eggs in there with those beads. Your shaker card, add in acetate, make these shaker cards with these, but think of other collections as well that the Ornate egg will work with, bringing in different things like that. Baby cards they're going to work perfectly with. You've got this one. Now I think that looks stunning on its own, just with the sentiment there with those daffodils, but then you open this one up and that is the inside. I mean, nobody is putting that card in the bin, is there? That's going to stay out all the time. It is absolutely stunning. You've got the background papers there as well. Then we've got last one. So we've got our sentiment with your daffodils, which I think on its own, that card is just clean, simple, absolutely stunning. All that detail there, but then you open this up and look at that. With all those eggs, honestly, as soon as I leave the studio after the show, I'm going to get some of these eggs because that's all I've looked at all day. That's all I've thought about is chocolate eggs. And then you've got your daffodils there as well. Look at that. Kat just said chocolate tastes so much better when it's egg shaped. It tastes different, doesn't it? It does taste different. I got no idea why. Maybe it's because we just know that we shouldn't be eating Easter eggs in February, but you know. Right, let's do another card. So for this one, we are going to do a card. Now I've cut out. I'm not that organized, Kat. Kat just said it looks like I've matched the card to my nails. I wish I was that organized that I could do things like that. They're just happy accidents. Right, so I've cut out the mat for the egg, and I've cut out in white cardstock, and I've just left a little bit overhang. So this is going to be my card shape, and then I've cut out the same size mat in a darker green. So that's going to sit on there, and then that's going to cover where that fold is. So this is going to just sit on the back of there. So that is just going to go there like that. And then we're going to pop this one down. So we'll pop some tape on the back of this one just to raise this layer up. And then we'll pop that on there. Do you have a favourite kind of chocolate egg, Kat? Yeah, yeah. So Cass just said she'd rather have lots of, like, they're not small though, are they? But the smaller eggs. So not the like the small ones, like the ones like that size. They're about that size now. So like lots of ones about that size, then have one massive one. Yeah, I think I'm with you on that. Yeah. I think sometimes it's the thought as well. Like if I've had a really big chocolate egg, it's the thought of if I open it, I know there's that much chocolate there that needs to be eaten. Right, I'm going to do the same thing I did just now, where I'm going to pop some vellum on there just to tone down that green a little bit, because I want that green there, because I'm going to use green in the foliage and things like that, so it's going to match up, but I don't want it to be too harsh. We've had a message from Soph, who is saying she loves the green card colours. I do as well. They're from the Spring Forward collection that we had on the earlier show, but it's such a nice colour palette of cardstock. It is like a calming green, isn't it? Also, Amelia's messaged in saying that it's a beautiful set today and orange chocolate eggs are the best. I gotta say, I do like an orange chocolate. I like orange chocolate. I don't think I've got a favourite egg. I think my favourite type of chocolate would be something nutty or peanut butter. Would be my favourite type of chocolate. Cass saying she thinks she just really likes it. Yeah, me too. I'd much rather chocolate than sweets. I'm not a sweet type of person. Like if I'm gonna treat myself, I'd get chocolate over sweets. Right, so I've got that little bit of vellum on there now, which is just gonna hold that into place. I've got my card, and then that is gonna go on there like that. Now you could pop a sentiment on there, and that's your card done. That could absolutely hang on. So you could pop that on there, pop that there, and that could be a card. Absolutely looks stunning, just like that. Pop your sentiment on, and that's your card. Absolutely made. Now this, we're gonna go in and we're gonna do some decorating. Now I'm actually gonna glue this down flat. I've changed my mind. So I'm just gonna pop some glue around there. So when I said about leaving your vellum set, that's why, because you see how it like warps a bit. So just leave it fully set before you try doing other things with it. So that's going to go on there like that. So I've got that. I'm going to do it flat instead. Now these are the borders from the Spring Forward, and like I showed you with the other one, you can manipulate them. So this is straight, but you can see I've kind of just bent it so that it just fits around the shape of the egg. So you can see how that will just go in. I'm going to put this in flat. So just put a little bit of glue on each one, because obviously you are bending it out of shape. So you need to make sure that you glue each one so that that is going to hold its shape. So that is going to sit on there like that. Now you could do that again and use it as a whole border going around, but what I've done is I've cut one down and we're just going to pop that there like that. So I've got that gap, so it's kind of just going along the bottom there, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing. Add a bit of glue to each one to make sure that holds its shape. So that is just going to sit like that. So now we're going to go in. Now I have got elements here from the spring forward. So I've got my foliage here that I'm going to go in with. And I don't, if you're thinking why do I only put a little bit of pin flare, because I'm going to add things on top of it, my pin flare is going to push into that anyway, so I don't need to worry about it being held down. So I'm going to pop that over there, and then we're going to go in with our daffodil. Look, that is just absolutely beautiful, and obviously it goes with the ornate egg perfectly because you've got those daffodils in there that are going to work so well as well. That's going to go there, and we've got, and I'm going to add this in first so I can kind of see where I'm going. That's going to just sit there, and again I'm going to add some stuff on top of that, so I'm not worried about exactly where it's going to go. And then we've got our snowdrops, which is just going to go on top of there. So that is just going to sit there like that, and then we're going to tuck these in. So sometimes I will just work from the back. If I was doing it at home, I probably would pop everything on and then take it down and then pop everything back on. It's just sometimes I find it easier to just tuck, go like that, know where my star point is going to be and just tuck things in. And that's, you know, if you haven't used pin flare's on our website. It makes a world of difference when you're doing something like this, because you've got that flexibility of being able to go in and change things. You don't have to be like, oh, if I've put that there now, I can't put it away. And you can move them, you can pick things up, put it back down. You don't have to stress about where you're going with things. So it gives you that reassurance that once you've put it down, you're not stuck with it. That's going to go there. We're going to add some more foliage in there as well, because I want to build that up. So we're just going to add some more elements in there. Alright, let's add in some more of these daffodils, because I think these daffodils from the ornate egg just, oh, hang on, let's put this one in first. They're so versatile as well. They're going to work with other collections that you've already got at home. And they just build up so well. I think because you've got them in that set of 3 as well, they just work so well. I'm going to tuck one in there. Pop another one in. That in there, and even these bigger stems, you could tuck them onto them as well, so it looks as if they're growing onto them. And then you've got your decoupage as well for some of those other florals, so I'm just going to pop a little bit of decoupage onto there. I'm not going to go in with all of it because, you know, we want to look at the egg more than these, but that's just going to tuck on there. And then we're going to add in our sentiment. So let's just pop some glue around our Happy Easter. So just use your glue tool, grab your everyday glue. Ooh, that's a bit too much. Just pop that on there. stick that onto there. So I've cut the mat out in the same perfect papers from Spring Forward. So the same green that I've used there in that background. I've cut the same one out. And then I'm just going to go in and stick that on there like that. Oh, I do apologise if you can hear banging. And then we're going to open that. Oop. And then you can see we've got our card there ready to go. So you can see how that ornate egg makes that card base. So using the metal layers there for the card base, it just works so well. And then you've got the ornate egg there, obviously cut out with the vignettes. So you've got the artwork there for the vignette and the foliage. You've got the vignette there for absolutely everything, but you can see everything was used from the ornate egg. You've got the matte layers there for the egg, you've got the foliage in there, you've got your daffodils in there, so you've got so much in there to build up and decorate these stunning eggs, and you can really go in and make some stunning collections. Oh, we've just had a message from, was it Becky? Becky saying that she loves the cards. They're so, but you know, the die I think does just everything for you. Straight away, even if you cut out the egg and just put the egg down, before you even add any of the daffodils or the lily of the valley, you've got a stunning card straight away just with that egg before you even do anything. So like this one, it's got the sentiment on there, it's got the lily of the valley on there, but even if you just took that away, that looks absolutely stunning before you've even added anything else in there. You can go in with little gems on these bits and add little gems into there. Go all these gold parts, go in with your foil, go in with your embossing powders, go in with your gilding wax, add those highlights in metallic just to go in with those. They're absolutely beautiful. Then we've got another one here, this time using that ornate egg for the actual card base. So multiple cutting out the ornate egg to give it that structure, give it the stability that it needs. And then you cut that out. Look at that. Just a few of those daffodils there with the foliage to decorate, and the sentiment there in the window looks absolutely exquisite. And then we've got another one using the card base for the card, so using those mats from the egg and then using the egg on there, having you think of those little animals that you might have at home already from Carnation that you can pop in there to decorate with. You've got your happy Easter down the bottom and then decorated those corners. Then we've got this one, look at that, and then there's something, it looks magical. It's like, it doesn't it? It just like, oh, there's like a magical feel about it. So doing things like that one, or then you could go in and use the card shape, those matte layers, instead of using them as card bases, use them to make apertures in your cards and do shaker cards instead. So you could do things like that, where you're going to use them to cut into the cardstock and add acetate on top. And then you've got this one where that to me just still looks absolutely stunning, but then when you open it up, you got your egg. I really want some chocolate eggs. I would feel like an idiot, I'm not gonna lie, going into the shop and buying some chocolate eggs in February. But I think I'm gonna have to get some chocolate eggs on the way home. Yeah, the very start of February is the day that I caved in and bought chocolate eggs. But there you go. We'll blame the GT because they've made me want chocolate eggs. Right, should we do another demo? So this time we are, let's move that over there. Right, so we've got our cardstock. So I'm using white cardstock, and I am using the Perfect Papers again. So these are the ones, again, from Spring Forward. So I used the green last time. This time I've gone with the pinks. So I've got that light and that dark pink in here. So we've got our card base. So that's just an A4 sheet of card. So this is quite a big card, folded in half, and we've got our card there. And then we're going to go in with our pink. So I'm going to pop this. When is Easter? The end of April. It's literally ages away. See, do you know, if I convinced myself to buy Easter eggs now and be, right, I'm going to be really organised. I'm going to buy Easter eggs now. So when it comes to Easter, I'm not one of these people running around the supermarket looking for whatever eggs are left. I would flat out eat those eggs. There's no way that those eggs would stay in my house uneaten for, what's that? That's like nearly 3 months, isn't it? Nearly 3. There's no way I could know that there's chocolate there and it not be eaten. So yeah, that's a no from me. We're going to add in that darker pink now, which is almost like a purpley pink colour. It's really, really pretty. And then we're going to go in with some white. Pop that on there. So that's going to go on there like that. Now, in the Spring Forward, you've got a doily border. And what I'm going to do for this is, let me grab some, I'm disappearing, one sec. Right, let me grab some tape. So, I'm going to, you can use double-sided tape, but I haven't got any. I'm just going to use this. So I'm just going to pop some red liner tape down the edge of my card. Now in the Spring Forward, so you can see, but there, right next to that bunny, that there's like a doily border. So that is what I'm going to use now. So it's a stunning die. It's very, very detailed, and when you get it, it comes, so you're going to die cut it through with the vignettes, and that's what that looks like. And then all I've done is just snipped the center away to give me these. Now equally, you could use these to extend a border. You could use them as a wrap around the bottom of a candle, use them as the border of a gift bag, use them as a border on a card. You could even use it like on this card and pop them on each end, and then you've got the center part ready for the focal point of your card then. So there's so many different ways that you can use this border just on its own. So what I've done, I've put that red liner tape on there. We're going to pull that off, and then this is going to go on the back. So I'm just going to stick that on the back of there. So I've got that there. So this is going to be like my border down the center. So there's so many different ways that you can use this. So that's going to go over there, and then turn it round and cut. Oh, I can't cut that way. Like that. So just pull them little bits, and then you've got, where's that come from? You've got that border down the center of your card. We're going to pop some white cardstock in the center, And then you've got your border down the centre with those doilies there going along the edge. And you could use that either way as well, but it's another way of thinking about those borders, of how you're going to use them. So we're going to pop some foam tape on the back of this and just raise this up, because you've got those doilies there. You're going to get natural shading and light with those, so get some dimension behind them, because it's just going to accentuate the detail that you get in those dies. So then that is going to go, my pug tool nearly ran off the table then, is going to go there like that, so you can see what that looks like there. Right, and now let's bring in our egg. Right, so I've got my egg. I've cut out the mat in white cardstock, and then I've cut out the egg with the vignette, so you can see there. We're going to pop this down. So I'm going to add some of our everyday glue on the back, and then that's just going to fit perfectly onto there, leaving us that little frame border. So you can see how that fits perfectly on there. And I'm just going to shape it a little bit, just give it a little bit of shape, and then that is just going to sit right there on that card. So what we're going to do is bring in our floral. So I've got the daffodils, but again, like Katja said, it looks lovely like that. You could leave it, they're just so detailed. Now I have got the sentiment here from Spring Forward, but I feel like I'm going to need to cut the mat out, and I don't know if we've got, we'll see how we go, see how much time we got left. So let's grab some of our pin flare. So we're going to add that sentiment on the bottom, so I'm going to pop the egg about here. So I'm just going to add a little bit of pin flare just to the centre, because that centre part is the bit that is going to be where that border is. So that is just going to sit there like that, and then we can go in with your florals. Now I've got the daffodil, so this is from the Spring Forward. Look at the size of that as well, like this. So this is my A4 sheet of cardstock folded in half, but look at that, even just putting that on there, it's such a big die. So I'm just going to add in some pin flare to that, turn that around, and then that, I think I'm going to tuck that under, pull that up. Now we're going to pop that there like that, so it's just tucked under our egg. So we've got that there, and then we're going to bring in, so we've got our foliage here, this is from Spring Forward still, and then we'll go in with our other elements as well. We've got your foliage as well, so many elements that you can bring into this. Just going to go there, and then look, got our beautiful daffodils. You can pop in and really build these up, tuck them in. They just look how easy they just work together. I'm going to pop that out a bit, and then add your decoupage element on there. So we're going to pop that, where am I going? There. Add these in there. And then I'm just going to tuck one behind there just to bring all that white up with it. And then we've got our Happy Easter, and look at that, that is just absolutely stunning, that you can pop in down on the bottom and add that in there like that. So I'm just going to add a bit of pin flare where those eggs are, kind of like your grounding element. So this is from the spring forward, and that is just going to sit on the bottom there like that. So we'll just tuck that in, and then you'll see we've got that there like that. But I think we're just ready for spring and summer, and you can see just adding in all those colours. They're just, it's something clean, something fresh. I think it's something different as well. It looks like such an expensive egg. The it's like really one of those expensive like Fabergé eggs that you see, like Kat said about a jewellery box. Now you've said that, I can't unsee it. I can see videos in my head of like eggs where they open them and then they've got like the light inside with the ring or the bracelet, and I keep thinking of that now. But you can use them for so many different things as well. They could be new baby cards. It could just be like a new start, fresh start. Like we were saying in the earlier show, I think a lot of people use Easter and spring for a new start or a fresh start. That is coming to the end of our show. Thank you so much if you've joined us for any of our shows today. We will be back, right? I will be back on Hobby Maker on Sunday. Am I mentioning what I'm doing Monday? I'm going to say yeah, because yes, I'm already saying, yeah, I'm mentioning it. Right, so on Monday, you'll be able to watch Carnation Crafts at the craft store. And then on Tuesday, we will be back here at Carnation Crafts TV. So you can watch on Hobby Maker on Sunday, on Craft Store on Monday, and Carnation Crafts on Tuesday. So loads of Carnation goodies coming your way. So I hope you can join me then on one of them. And if not, we will see you here next Tuesday. Bye for now.